Once a peerless genius capable of destroying stars, I willingly spent 20 years meditating in the back mountains of the sect. But when I returned, the broken sword I picked up as a child had turned into the Xuxian sword. The seed I casually planted had grown into a ginseng fruit tree. And the little girl I saved from the abyss of demons had become a peerless beauty. All of this happened because I am a transmigrator who came to this world of cultivation. But my name, Huang Tianhao, is the ultimate taboo in this world. Since childhood, my clan was annihilated, and my parents gave their lives to protect me and keep me alive. On the verge of death, I awakened the sign-in system, and the beginner's gift was the activation of my spiritual roots. After unlocking the path of cultivation, the sect master who passed by regarded me as a peerless genius and took me back to the star sect. With the system's assistance, I became the greatest genius the star sect had seen in 1,000 years. To everyone, I appeared as a 20-year-old whose cultivation had reached an eerie realm. I also became the youngest wind lord in the sect's history. But only I know that my name, Huang Tianhao, carries too much karma in the cultivation world. I must stay low-key and hidden. Because I've been hiding for so long, I no longer know how powerful I truly am. One day, while casually practicing my sword swings, I accidentally put in too much force when swinging my dark sword into the void. The next moment, in the endless void above the Xiantian immortal domain, a terrifying force erupted like a volcano. On the dark blade of the Xuxian sword, 10 faint golden chains appeared. Fate surged, and the phantoms of many ancient ancestors appeared in the sky, their faces tense, as if they were facing a life-or-death situation. This scene shocked the entire Xiantian immortal domain. Oops, I overdid it? Stay low, stay low, stay low. I hurriedly restrained the sword's power, muttering stay low 3 times to calm myself. Suddenly, an aura approached from afar, arriving at my location in an instant. I quickly clasped my fists and bowed slightly, saying, "Greetings, sect master." Tianshuzi slowly descended, his lips moved slightly. "Tianhao, I sensed a terrifying presence here just now. Did you notice anything?" My heart skipped a beat, but I quickly shook my head, keeping a pure and innocent expression. "Sect master, was there something? I was just sleeping and didn't notice anything." Hearing this, Tianshuzi rubbed his forehead, a bit helpless. Even under such a terrifying presence, this boy sleeps so soundly. I fear the future of Tianyuan Peak might suffer. He then said seriously, "Tianhao, tomorrow is the triennial disciple recruitment ceremony. It's time for you to take in some disciples to bring new vitality to Tianyuan Peak." Upon hearing this, I frowned slightly. Taking disciples, wouldn't that be misleading them? Besides, I still plan to hide in Tianyuan Peak for a few more centuries. Taking disciples would only disturb my cultivation. And, according to typical novel plots, when disciples are beaten by the protagonist, the master always has to stand up for them, only to also be defeated by the protagonist. No, no, I definitely want to take disciples. Staying hidden is the greatest strategy. "Tianhao, why are you silent?" Seeing this, Tianshuzi gritted his teeth. "I'm the Star Sect's once in a millennium genius. By all rights, I should be leading the younger generation of the sect to compete with prodigies from Eastern Zhou. And even the Xiantian immortal domain. But for the sake of survival, I've hidden for 20 years, never stepping outside the section. I don't participate in sect activities, nor take on sect missions. Each day, I just laze around Tianyuan Peak, eating and sleeping. Even the ancestors couldn't get me to leave the sect. If it were any other genius, Tianshuzi would be slapped him awake long ago. But despite my laziness, my cultivation realm surpasses all the young talents in the Star Sect, leaving Tianshuzi both frustrated and impressed. Then, after 20 years of frustration, the system's voice rang in my ears again. New task, recruit a disciple with an 8-star qualification within 7 days. Reward, a mysterious cultivation gift pack. Hearing the words gift pack, I knew it had to be something good. I didn't expect the system to issue tasks too. This got me a little excited. Since it's a disciple recruitment task, I guess I have no choice but to complete it. I thought to myself and then said, "Sect master, I'll attend tomorrow's ceremony and see if there are any good candidates." Hearing this, Tianshuzi smiled with relief. This boy has finally come around. Good. Remember to be there on time tomorrow. I won't disturb you further. Tianshuzi nodded and left. The next morning, at the disciple recruitment ceremony, Tianshuzi rose and loudly proclaimed, "Step forward one by one and test your aptitude with the Starstone. Only those who reach the Xian level or above can join our Star Sect." As his voice fell, countless young hopefuls, guided by the sect's stewards, began testing their aptitudes with the Starstone. The Starstone is just an ordinary rock infused with chi to detect a cultivator's potential. After watching for a while, I felt a bit disappointed. In the Xiantian immortal domain, aptitude is divided into 4 levels: Heaven, Earth, Xian, and Huang. Above that are Ling, Saint, and Immortal. The system's ranking is slightly different. Below the Heaven level, There's only a 1-star grading system. So far, I hadn't seen anyone surpass 1 star. As for the 8-star disciple the system wanted, I could only dream of it. I seriously wondered if the system was messing with me. Just then, a starstone suddenly lit up, emitting a dazzling starlight that drew everyone's attention. Heaven grade top tier aptitude. On stage, the previously calm Tianshuzi and the others stood up, staring at the starry glow. It was caused by a 14-year-old boy. Tianshuzi personally examined his potential, and the other wind lords looked on expectantly. If it was true, the star sect would gain another peerless genius. But on the side, my expression wasn't so great. Damn it, system. Heaven grade top tier is only 2 stars. What kind of being is 8 stars to know? Heaven grade top tier hadn't appeared in the star sect for centuries. It's almost the strongest in Eastern Zhou. Only the Ling grade exists above it, which is only found in places like Zhonggao Sacred Land. At that moment, I felt the task was hopeless and thought about going back to sleep. The recruitment ceremony was almost over, and I still had no results. There were a few heaven grade disciples, and Tianshuzi wanted me to accept them as my disciples, but I rejected them, saying their aptitude wasn't enough. Seeing that I refused, the other wind lords happily took over, which made Tianshuzi so angry his beard stood on end. It seemed this task wouldn't be so easy to complete. With only 2 days left, I decided to go out and look around. As I left the sect, the system's voice rang in my head. Host has unlocked the disciple radar. The radar can provide all the aptitude information of potential disciples. Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow. The radar could provide aptitude information. That's a great tool. I stopped and looked around. Ahead, there was a disciple returning from training. With a thought, I activated the panel, and as expected, all their information appeared before me, even their fate, something normally elusive. I was overjoyed. With this radar, the disciple recruitment task might be possible after all. Time flew by, and soon it was the final day. I had flown for so long that I lost track of how far I had traveled from the star sect. Suddenly, the system's voice rang out again. Target disciple detected within a 500-mile radius. Please recruit them as soon as possible. I was full of questions but quickly expanded my divine sense. My divine sense was vast enough to cover tens of thousands of miles. 500 miles south, I sensed a battle taking place. It seemed the target disciple was there. Without hesitation, I soared into the sky, heading south. My speed was incredible, and within a breath, I arrived 500 miles away. There, 6 or 7 young men and women were being surrounded by a pack of demon wolves. These wolves had powerful physical strength, equivalent to the first realm of martial cultivation, and there were over 100 of them. But the young men and women, about 20 years old, weren't panicking. They were all in the first realm of divine treasure martial cultivation, each using their techniques to resist the wolves' attacks with ease. However, I wasn't paying attention to these cultivators, but to a determined boy who had no aura of cultivation. He had blood at the corner of his mouth and was tightly clutching a spirit herb in his arms. His name was Yefan. My eyes narrowed. Name, Yefan. Age, 16. Identity, Yecheng's commoner. Lives with his sister. Cultivation, none. Aptitude, none. Techniques, none. Physique, none. Fate, ordinary gray. Seeing the system's scan, I froze. No aptitude, no fate, yet he somehow met the system's requirement for a disciple. A string of question marks flashed through my mind. But as I calmed down and reviewed the information, I suddenly understood. Yefan. He had the same name as the protagonist of a novel I had read in my previous life. No wonder the system believed he had the qualifications to be my disciple. If his physique turned out to be the archaic sacred body, he would be invincible. But what was this reverse fate mortal physique? A mortal physique is one thing, but reverse fate who could be? Imagine that in the lower realm of the 7 gods, this reverse fate mortal physique would allow him to defy the heavens as a mortal, eventually becoming an emperor and slaying the 7 gods.